Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Generation X Nation. Welcome back to my channel. I decided to do a 2024 wrap up podcast, things that we need to leave back in 2024 and don't bring it on to 2025 because we're pretty much a little bit drained and tired of looking at it or hearing about it. So I made my own checklist, things that I'm tired of hearing about. You guys may be okay with it, but I'm not. And I don't mean I hate it. I'm just saying it's been oversaturated. So with that being said, we're going to go down the list of some things that I think we need to just stop talking about. Pocket watching, this six-figure salary thing you people are talking about all the time. You got to stop it. Everybody and their mama, oh, I need a man with six figures. I need a girl with six figures. It is not that easy to get to six figures, okay? And let's, for instance, say, six figures is a magic number for you guys. Just say you make $100,000 a year. Keep in mind you pay taxes, health insurance, dental insurance. You put money into your 401k, vision insurance. All this other stuff come out of your check. You probably, depending on your tax bracket, whether you single or married, got dependents, don't got dependents, $100,000 really is about $75,000 to $80,000 a year after all that stuff come out. Okay? So six figures ain't all that you think it is. You got to get way beyond six figures to live comfortable. And the way this country is set up, six figures ain't going to get you that, you'll be okay with six figures, but you ain't going to be mega rich unless you overspend it. If you're spending 100,000 because that's what you make, but technically you're only making 75 to 85,000, you'll be in debt. Next topic I'm going to go over is the cost of dating. I've seen so many people on social media talking about, oh, if a guy takes me out, he got to get my hair, my nails done, my pedicure, take me to a 5-star restaurant. Be realistic, people. Be realistic. If a man is spending that kind of money on you on the first date, he going to be looking for something in return, okay? And I ain't saying that you ain't worth it or not, but you don't even know him and he don't even know you. And personally, why spend $300 getting ready for a date? The guy spend another couple $100 eating and have a conversation, and then y'all both walk out the restaurant and don't like each other. You just wasted money. Me, and I'm not saying I'm cheap, because I can pretty much afford what I want. What I'm saying is, use your head. Be smart. Most of these people y'all meeting are through a third person or somebody you met on the internet anyway. You don't know these people. Go somewhere where you can sit down and really get to know the person and see if this is somebody that you would want to spend time or even extra money on. I know people say, oh, don't take me to no coffee date. I'm too good for coffee date. Baby, Starbucks at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when it's bright outside and a bunch of people in there is the safest date you can go to. You can have a quick conversation. You can see if you're physically attracted to them. You can see if you like your conversation. And then if you like it, you can schedule the big date and then he can see you all dressed up and you can see him all dressed up. You give the person your best foot forward on the first date, there's nowhere to go after that. Because the next time you see him, you got a bonnet on. Let him like you for you in your natural state. And I ain't saying go there looking bad, but pull your hair back, whatever, light makeup, nice little cute casual outfit. Let him see you just regular. Because we don't look like we look at the $300 date every day. So he needs to see you more of who you really are first before you go throwing cakes of makeup and contouring and all that other stuff. If he like you for what you look like at the Starbucks date, then it can only go up from there. Just my opinion. Again, don't waste all that money if you don't even know if you're physically attracted to the person, because physical attraction is going to come first. But I'm moving on. TMI, too much information. And this is not to take away from anybody who enjoys these things on social media, but story time, I scroll right by that. I cannot listen to nobody else's. We all got issues going on in our life. I can do story times from here to the cows come home about things that I've happened and seen. I'm over it. I'm over the story time. I get it. I know what's the name just started a big story time on the basketball player. Oh, God. Who needed to hear that? You and this man ain't been together in at least 10 years. Why do you care at this point? That baby probably close to 18. I don't even know if you're getting child support. Why do you care? Let that man live his life. I don't know what Royce got going on. Ain't my business. But you over here doing story time on a relationship that was over 10 years ago. Now you want to tell everything. Girl, you should have just wrote a book. And I'm just being honest. Um, Social media is just not therapy. People gonna listen because they nosy. We're naturally nosy. People gonna listen to it. Gonna probably talk about you like I'm doing. But Royce, it's just not worth it. And I'm saying this to other people too. These story times are just crazy. I mean, maybe part one to part two, three, maybe. When we start getting into part 18, 19, and I know the social media sites are set up where you can only record for so long. I'm lost. After about part two or three, I don't want to hear anymore. I don't want to hear about you met this dude and he had a family in another state and how he tricked you out. I don't want to hear it. And I ain't saying make better choices because it is a lot of scammers out here. It's a little harder to date. I get it. Ladies and gentlemen, I get it. But sometimes you just give out too much information about yourself. TMI. Social media is not therapy. If you got robbed or ripped off, go down to the police station, file a report for identity theft or something. I don't know. Another thing we need to stop doing, stop going to veneer text. There's no such thing. That's a person who gave themselves a freaking title and told you they can fix teeth, ain't never been to a dental school. Go to a dentist if you want good teeth. Straight white teeth, go to a dentist. Or here's another route. Put some braces on, get some bleaching, straighten your teeth out yourself, and maybe your dentist can maybe shape them a little bit, move some of the gums and make them look better. But if you go to a veneer tech who put veneers over top of teeth that are rotting out, that means there's a medical condition or got cavities or need a crown or need a root canal, you're creating more problems for yourself. And if you're young in your 20s and 30s, your teeth got to last you your whole life, your whole freaking life. And if they mess your teeth up, a lot of dentists ain't going to go and do over with another dentist done. Okay? Good dental hygiene keeps you from having a lot of other infections in your body, believe it or not. Do not let somebody go in there and put teeth over top of teeth that are bad. A dentist will not clean your teeth if you need a cavity. If you have a cavity and need a filling, he would tell you to go get your filling first and come back to clean your teeth. In order for you to do something like that, a professional needs to do it, and your teeth have to be in good, healthy shape. Just my point. Veneer tech is not a real job. And I don't care if somebody out there scamming people or veneer tech right now, making money off of it. People stop doing it. It's freaking dangerous. It's going to cost you more to end. Credit repair. Oh my God. I ain't saying people can't help you, fix your credit if you're being sued, things like that. You may get a lawyer to help you out. But you can pretty much get your own credit report. And you can go down that list and you can start on your own repairing things, calling creditors, negotiating your own stuff. You don't have to pay people to do it. And most of the time they pay people to do it, probably 75% of those people say it didn't help. You can fix your credit yourself. Trust me, you can do it. I've never really had bad credit, but if something was on there that I didn't want to, I went on my credit report maybe a year or two ago and I seen an account that had paid off in full and it was still showing open on my credit report, but I had closed the account out. I know it's no big thing. It was paid in full. I didn't owe anything on it. And it was on there, I don't know, a couple of years. But you know what I did? I called that company and I said, look, send a letter over there to the credit company and tell them that account is closed. I wanted to reflect closed on my report. Now you say, why is that important? It's important because it's called income to debt ratio. And they look at how much open credit you got, even if you ain't using it. So if you're making $100,000, but you got $70,000 in debt, your income to debt ratio is pretty high. So you want to make sure if there's an account that you're not using that you paid off 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago and it shows paid in full, but they never close the account out. It took me all of maybe a month, maybe a month and a half, and it showed closed on my account. You can fix your own credit is my question. Stop listening to people. I fix your credit. I ain't fix your credit. You can do it yourself. Next thing we need to talk about is black men versus black women. Leave that in 2024. Please leave it in 2024. I'm tired of us fighting each other. We need to learn how to get together and learn how to at least be cordial and respectful to each other. Stop fighting. Black women ain't this. Y'all angry, y'all aggressive. Black men ain't this. You're lazy, you're this and that. We all got our faults. Find somebody that like you and you like them. That's all that really matters. Stop telling people how they should date, how much they should cost, how much the person should make. And we sitting here listening to people telling us this is how we need to live our life. And then we go out there with this checklist and think this is how it works. That ain't how it works. You could meet the love of your life walking down the street taking your dog for a walk. And it could be a person walking by in a sweatsuit with his dog or her dog. And y'all could just bump into each other and have a conversation and find out this is the person you've been looking for your whole life. And it had nothing to do with, $300 getting hair and nails done, another 5-star restaurant. It had nothing to do with none of that. You just was walking down the street and met a person that you vibe with that quickly. Next thing you know, y'all dating and life moves on. We got to stop getting these scenarios where we think, oh, okay, if he got this, and this, he may be a good person. He may have no moral character, or she may not have no moral character. Stop going off of these checklists. Got to have 6 figures. Got to be able to pay for me to get to the date. Got to bring my kids. If I have kids, got to buy my kids food. Got to have this. Stop it. Stop it. Just meet people organically and naturally. I ain't saying go out there and date a bum. But I'm saying if you 26, 27 years old or 30 and you meet a guy or girl that's in that same age bracket that you're attracted to, but you look at them and say, well, you ain't got 6 figures, they where you at? If you 30 and they 30, y'all in the same place in y'all lives. If you ain't got 100,000, what makes you think he got 100,000? Y'all both went to college. You probably got student loan debt. Okay? One or both y'all may have children. Unless you got a scholarship and don't have no kids, which is great. But you're both at this stage in your lives where you're trying to build your career. You haven't got to $100,000. If you're 30 years old looking for a man with 6 figures or more, you might need to move up to the 40, 45 and up group, who probably done been married once, got some kids, paying child support, but that's where you at. Because the guy that's 30 with you, that went to high school with you, that graduated before, a couple years before or after you, he where you at financially? Y'all got to use y'all brains. Y'all all got out of college around the same time, got out of high school around the same time. What makes you think, unless he hit the lottery, what makes you think he got $100,000 if you ain't got it? Moving on. Twerking. I know women love to twerk. I get it. This young generation, y'all love twerking, whatever. Leave twerking in the appropriate places that it should be at. And I'm just going to say a place where a gentleman like to go and enjoy themselves. I'm not saying people can't twerk if you're doing it for fun, at home, in the privacy of your own home with your family, kicking. But all of this riding around on top of cars, twerking with your butt out, stopping in the middle of the street, standing on tables, just interrupting the whole scene. Stop it. We don't want to see it. We're really tired and we're over it. Twerking came out to strip clubs. Let's just be realistic. Stop. And it ain't because, you guys are old, you're Gen X, you're old, you guys don't know how to twerk. We don't care. We don't care. And I'm not saying it's a disgusting dance. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying at some point, as Black women, we got to get past twerking. Seriously. Next thing, service fees added to the gratuity. If you got a gratuity on my receipt and I give you a tip on top of that, that's enough. Don't put a service fee on there. These fees are getting out of control. If I buy a concert ticket from Ticketmaster, SeatGeek, or whoever, there's a service fee on there. For what? I don't get a paper ticket. You're not mailing me a ticket. Back in the day, they used to mail you your ticket, paper ticket, FedEx if you wanted it, or you go pick it up at the will call window, or you can go to the actual venue and buy the ticket there. You can't do that no more. So you're forcing me to use these things online, and then you want to charge me for it? Almost the price of the ticket. If I get a concert ticket for $250, by the time I get the service fee done, I'm already at $400 and something. Okay, that's ridiculous. I don't know. They said a law is coming out about that. I hope it do, because the United States is the only country that does that as far as concert tickets. Gratuity, it's on the ticket. Then you want us to tip you on top of that. I say just make a decision. I understand that there's a large party, you have to do gratuity. I get that. But if you got gratuity off the ticket on the large party, you want extra because you say, oh, we got to split it with the cook and everybody else. I get it. And I'm not being cheap, but when did we start doing this? I went to a place the other day to get something to go. Very simple. I got it to go. They charged me a service fee for getting it to go and a service fee for bagging it up, and then had to mitigate it all to ask me for a tip. For what? I'm getting it to go. I'm sitting here in the chair waiting on somebody to cook it and bag it up and give it to me. I'm not at a table. You're not serving me drinks. You're not coming back cleaning my table. I'm literally here. So no, I didn't leave, I didn't leave a tip. I just felt like, why? I looked at my receipt. I said, you got 2 service fees on here. What is this for? Oh, well, that's for us bagging it up, and that's the to-go service fee. Then you're not getting a tip. I'm sorry. That's just where I'm at with that. And I am a good tipper, but this tipping stuff is getting out of control. Uh this is gonna be a hard one. Side chick behavior. You side chicks, y'all out of pocket. Y'all have been out of pocket all year. We got to stop. Some of y'all pregnant at the same time the wife's pregnant. That's ridiculous. It really is. I get it. You feel like, hey, ain't my husband, ain't my wife, side chicken, side dudes. I'm gonna say it both ways. That's not my husband, ain't my wife. I don't care. One day it may be your husband and your wife. Think about that. You want to be married one day, and you want to hope that your spouse don't do exactly what you're doing to somebody else's spouse. I'll just leave it at that. That you got to stop. And I ain't saying hide in the bushes, but just find your own person. I mean, I know it's hard out here, but we got to do better than that. Check babies. Those are the people who have children just for the check. I'm not saying you don't love your child, but I'm saying you see a target, you see somebody got a little cash, and you intentionally make sure that you impregnate yourself or try to get pregnant, whatever the case may be, to make sure that you get a check for the next at least 18 years. There's a lot of women out there who got check babies. If you need an example, I'll just say Drea Michelle. No disrespect to Drea. Good props. She in love. She happy. But you can't tell me that wasn't a check baby. I digress. Next thing is toxic relationships. Leave that in 24. Everything I stand on this list is things that we need to leave back in 2024. Start the new year with something fresh and new, people. We tired of it. Toxic relationships. Let me give you an example. You ever watch that show Love and Hip Hop Miami? And that young girl, oh my God, that dates Fabo. I forget her name. But every time, Shay, that's her name, Shay. Every time he comes around, she's screaming at him, hollering at him. They talk for about 5 minutes, and then it's like, F you, Fabo, get out of my house, you sorry mother. Up you, Fabo, get out of it. Just all the time screaming. I'm like, God, do they ever just talk? Because all they do is scream and shout at each other. Another toxic relationship. I love this person. He's one of my favorites on Love and Hip Hop. Jock and that girl he's married to, Kendra. Oh, every time the scene's on them, Jock, I'm tired of you, Jock, tired of your shit, Jock, F you, Jock. If you are in a relationship where you screaming at somebody every day and they're cheating on you every chance they get, leave. I know it's hard. You in love, you got kids, you got family, you got a house, you got things invested. That's what the courts are for. They can split all of that up. Start planning your escape. Save your money. Do what you got to do. But love should never be at a point where you walk in your house and somebody's screaming at you every day. Because eventually your children are going to see it and hear it if they're around long enough. And it starts affecting them. Just my opinion. Y'all do what y'all want to do. I guess, this generation love toxicity. Another thing we're going to leave behind is Black women fight. That's my big thing. Black women fighting each other on TV constantly. Constantly. We have to stop that. Stop letting these networks and these shows take our young girls, because they don't take too many of the older women. But these young girls, these 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds, girls who just want that 5 minutes of fame to be a part of something, stop allowing your nieces, I'm sorry, not your nephews, your nieces, your sisters, your aunts, your cousins, sit them baby girls down and say, don't you go on that show for 5 minutes of fame and embarrass me or the family. Now I get it. Some of the parents okay with it because they get to be a little bit famed by their child being on there. They get a little time, TV time, air time, whatever. But I am so sick of seeing black women fighting each other on freaking TV. Leave that in 2024. Now, I'm not going to call out the network, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And it's like a fight game. They get them out there, fight. And they just fight. Like, you're not freaking animals. You're supposed to be young ladies. People do not respect you when you're doing stuff like that. And I know you thinking, oh, that's cool. I don't give a thing. Y'all old. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Baby, you would hope to be my age. Or when you hit 35 to 40 and ready to settle down, who's going to... No, it's going to be hard to get people to deal with you like that. It's going to be hard to find you a significant other. Stop ruining your reputation when you're just starting life. You just go to school. These girls are 21, 22 years old and ain't been to nobody college, nothing. You can't sit there and fight and get beat up for the rest of your life. At some point, you're going to want to settle down. We got to do better and stop allowing people to exploit our young women and putting them on shows like that. And we got to talk to them about volunteering to be on those shows because they can only participate. They're willing participants. So we're not saying they're forcing them to be on there, but we got to let them know it's a better way to do it. A really, really better way to do it. I'm going to finish this up. We need to leave back in 2024. I'm sorry, the hairstylists, beauticians, whatever you guys are, installers, whatever. Some of y'all prices is way too high. Like they say you need to cut it or something. It's ridiculous. You got these women out here paying $300, $600, $700,000 for a hairstyle that's gonna last 2 to 3 weeks. You can't keep that kind of maintenance up. Every 2 to 3 weeks, I'm spending $600, $1,000 for a hairstyle. Doesn't make sense. And then you're not doing anything. You're telling them wash their hair, detangle their hair, blow the hair out, all of that before they get there. Well, what is you doing? What is you doing? Your job is to make sure that person's hair is healthy and maintained. So basically, y'all just putting stuff in people's hair. You don't know what the texture of the hair is like. You don't know if the hair is healthy or anything because you haven't done any of the pre-treatment. You just sticking the wig on, gluing the wig on. That's why everybody walking around with their edges gone. Got to stop. And then you overcharging. And I don't know what you're charging for because I don't see where it will cost me $600 to install a wig. But I'm not trying to take money out y'all pocket. But time's going to get tough in 2025. So y'all might need to, start looking at some alternatives because I don't think that's going to keep going on. But yes, then you have these long list of demands. I need a deposit. Do this, do that, do this. If you're going to do all that, then you make sure, at least from my perspective, as a Gen X, when I used to go to the hairdresser before I got locks, whatever, going to them hairdressers or stylists and sitting there waiting for your turn. Or being the first person of the day saying, hey, I'll get there at 7 in the morning or 8 in the morning. I just want to be the first person to get in now. You're sitting in the parking lot at 8 o'clock. They don't roll up to 8:30. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm running late. Well, do I get some of my deposit back? Do I get a discount on this style? If you're charging me $300 or $500 and I need to be here at 1 o'clock, I show up at 1 o'clock, but you ain't even ready to start me until 2:30, almost 3, then I'm going to need a discount. Because you have pushed my schedule back. Just like your schedule been pushed back, so has mine. Or you cancel on me on the last minute. You guys got to get better with your customer service. And I'm not saying all stylists, but I've heard horrible stories what hairstylists have done to people. And I get it. Some people run out of the shop after their hair gets done. They don't pay. They say they don't like it. It's a give and take on both ends. But what you guys have to work on is being on time. Do not sit here and ding a customer for being late when y'all, for the life of me, I don't know what it is about African American hairstylists, but you always have something to do with dropping off your kids, picking your kid up, or you running late. We all got places to go. If you want me on time, you be on time. If you're not on time, start docking, deducting off of my total price, just like you would charge me extra if I'm late. Moving on. Uh, BBLs. Whew. Please leave those in 2024. I'm sorry. I mean, it seemed like everybody's back onto the Ozempic thing. Maybe that's what we need to do. I don't know. But it's not that I don't like people with BBLs. It's just some of y'all are getting really, really bad jobs. It's getting to the point where you have cheapened them to the point where the Kardashians are reversing theirs. All right, so I ain't gonna talk too much about that. I don't want to disrespect anybody who's went through that process. Um, Last two things I'm gonna talk about: crashing out. I'm tired of looking at videos where I see young women um, and young men tearing stuff up, fighting over the simplest stuff. I want to go knock somebody in the head, tear up the restaurant, throw this everywhere, and all you're doing is going to jail. I'm at the airport tearing up the ticket counter. You're going to jail. You'll be on the no-fly list. I'm on a cruise fighting. They just gonna lock you up and put you at the bottom of the ship. Stop it. Learn how to control your temper. It ain't that hard to do. We just have to concentrate and focus. It ain't that. It's not that deep that we got to go tear stuff up and end up in jail. Um, and then for the finisher, I think I covered everything that I think we should leave in 2024. Here's a couple of people we might need to leave behind before I get off of here. Uh, Brian McKnight, Tyrese, we can keep their music, but they can stay. Ned and Charles, I would never need to hear from them again, and I think my life would be great. Krishan and Blueface, you know, I, I, I hate it for them, but we need to stop listening to them too. They need to stay in 2024. Do not come up on my timeline anymore. Angela from 90 Day Fiance. Oh, that was a toxic lady, the way she treated Michael. She could stay in 2024. And my finisher, y'all know who that is. That damn Martell and Ariane Curry. Lead asses in 2024. And I don't wish nobody out of a job or an employment, but what I will say is, if Martell doesn't resurface on Love and Marriage Huntsville at some point, he's no longer on that show, I really won't be disappointed or upset because they really need to figure out and do something with Martell. And with that being said, last but not least, I'm gonna say, stop with this theory that all black women have bad attitudes and we're nasty people and angry and things like that. Because a lot of us are not. Most of us aren't. We really don't care. We're not evil baby mamas. We don't have attitude and black women are this and stop. I hate hearing that because there are a lot of smart and beautiful black women that I know. So, like I said before, with that being said, this is my things we need to lead back in 2024. Don't bring it in 2025 and probably have a better year. I hope everybody have a wonderful and safe new year. And we wishing everybody the best. Happy New Year's to all and be safe out there. And with that, Gen X is out. Please like, subscribe to my channel, share my channel. I'm trying to get my followers up. I don't need 100,000 followers, 50,000, just a few, 100 or so, and I'm good. I try to get better with my content. I really enjoy doing this. And I'm surprised how far I've came because I'm still learning how to use all this stuff, teaching myself. And at some point, I'm probably going to have to go and get a actual class. But for right now, I'm teaching myself. You guys have a great, happy new year. Wishing everybody the best in 2025. And like I said on this list, leave that bullshit in 2024. Okay? Leave it there. Let them cook back there. We no longer crashing out. All right? Let them cook back there. We starting out new. You guys have a blessed night. Just Gen X Nation out.